Hello, everyone. I'm AT Storm Track meteorologist Austin Haskins. It was another seasonable day temperature-wise across western Wisconsin. We started off with a lot of cloud cover, but ended with a decent amount of sunshine. High temperatures mostly in the mid-80s. We had some lower 80s up to the north. We got to 84 here in Eau Claire, 85 in Menominee. Now, it was still very humid yesterday, but the dew points overall were about 5 to 10 degrees lower than they were on Wednesday. It was around 70 for basically the entire morning in Eau Claire before it did slide back into the upper 60s in the afternoon, even briefly dropping into the mid 60s early in the evening. So it was still a little bit on the uncomfortable side of things, but when you compare those dew points as high as they were on Wednesday, this was at least a step in the right direction to it feeling a little bit better. Now, we have high pressure over the region this morning, and that has kept things quiet for the most part outside of some patchy to locally dense fog, so be aware of that on the morning commute. But unfortunately, this area of high pressure, while it'll give us a nice day, is leading to air quality issues once again. We have an air quality alert in place for all of western Wisconsin until 11 o'clock tonight. It is an orange level alert, but could even sneak up into that red level category as well, which is, as you'll see here, in the unhealthy category. So again, be sure to monitor the air quality conditions in your area and take the necessary precautions as needed, limiting your time outdoors for today and even into tonight as well. And here is the latest map from the air quality. You can go to airnow.gov and you can see the latest updates in your area or in other areas around the U.S. But we're in that yellow category this morning for most of western Wisconsin, but the worst of the conditions is along and west of Highway 25. So again, we'll be monitoring this today and tonight. We could also maybe see some of this lingering into the weekend, but there are signs as the south wind does return that we should be able to see the air quality level start to improve as that south wind should try to scour out some of that haze and smoke, but we'll keep you updated there. We're looking at, again, a lot of sunshine and some clouds for today once the fog burns off. And again, outside of the air quality issues, if we didn't have that, it would be a really nice summer-like day. Now tonight, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, maybe a few extra clouds overnight tonight, but we are staying dry. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy and staying dry, though it'll be turning very humid once again. Now, as you saw just a few minutes ago, that stationary boundary down to the south, that initially was going to bring a couple of showers, maybe a storm or two to the area late tonight into Saturday morning, but that is trending further south, so rain chances are basically about 5 to 10% or less for Saturday into Saturday night and even into Sunday as well, and also, of course, tonight as well. Now, Sunday is a little bit of a question mark. Some of the data does suggest we could have some showers and storms in the afternoon hours. This run of Future Track doesn't really have anything until Sunday evening. So if that is the case, most of Sunday during the day is going to be dry. I have a low-end 20% chance in the afternoon for some isolated development, but then that chance coverage-wise does kind of ramp up a little bit to about 50% Sunday night. Now, the data is kind of differing a little bit on the exact timing and location of these storms, but it is worth watching because it's going to be hot. It is going to be very humid, a lot of energy for the storms to work with, and right now, Storm Prediction Center has a level 1 out of 5 risk, which is a marginal risk, and that means isolated strong to severe storms are possible for Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. And again, this outlook goes through 7 a.m. on Monday. Wind looks to be the primary threat, but all hazards are certainly possible for any strong to severe storms that do develop. We'll keep you updated as we go forward in time over the weekend. Highs today across the area back into the mid 80s, a few upper 80s possible in spots, low 80s north and east. Tonight, we're back down mostly into the mid to upper 60s. And then tomorrow, we'll have mostly upper 80s, mid 80s northeast. We could get close to 90 in a couple of locations. And then I think a good portion of the area should at least get into the lower part of the 90s heading into Sunday. But dew points will be into the low, if not mid 70s again. And looking ahead, the heat index values will be rising. So today won't be too bad. Tomorrow, heat index could peak as high as about 92 to 96 degrees. But Sunday is when I'm watching closely because with those temperatures in the lower 90s, dew points you can see there in the mid 70s, that could push the heat index up to 100, if not slightly higher than that. So we'll have to watch the possibility for some heat alerts to be issued. Monday, still very humid and temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90s. So once again, the heat index 95 to 100. But after that, we turn cooler and the dew points by Wednesday and Thursday of next week finally drop below 60 degrees. The second half of next week, is looking fantastic and much more comfortable too. As you can see there, highs in the upper 70s, lows in the 50s.